Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. I'm Nika and I make book related videos, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you all the new books that I got in the month of April. So without further ado, I want to let you know that I actually got 5 new books this month, that is in April. However, out of all of these books I bought only one of these. So yeah, we'll begin by that. The one book that I bought is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. Now this is a classic dark academia book and one that I'm sure you have heard by now. It's a very popular, very famous book, and I have been wanting to read it for the longest time, but it's only recently that I got the chance to acquire this one for myself. So let me share the synopsis with you. Oliver Marks has just served 10 years for a murder he may or may not have committed. On the day of his release, he is greeted by the detective who put him in prison. Detective Colborne is retiring and he wants to know what really happened a decade before. As a young actor at an elite conservatory, Oliver noticed that his talented classmates seem to play the same characters on stage and off: villain, hero, temptress, though he was always a supporting role. But when the teachers changed the casting, a good-natured rivalry turns ugly and the plays spill dangerously over into real life. When tragedy strikes, one of the 7 friends is found dead. The rest face their greatest acting challenge yet, convincing the police and themselves that they are blameless. So that's If We Were Villains. It's classic dark academia set in a university environment of learning. There's murder, obviously there's jealousy, very dark human morality that is questioned. These are all often categories, or not categories, but like often themes that are explored in dark academia. We have an outsider who sees this group of elite friends who seem to be very closely knit, but there are always some cracks in their so-called friendship. So this is one of the most famous dark academia books known, and I'm very excited for this one. Moving on, I want to share a book with you that I got as a review copy from HarperCollins, and it is A Resurgent Northeast, Narratives of Change by Ashish Kundra. Now, here's a brief synopsis from the very back. A Resurgent Northeast, Narratives of Change portrays a picture of transformational change sweeping across the remotest and least known corner of India. Geographically distant and ethnically distant from the rest of the country, the people of this frontier land face monumental neglect from the capital for nearly 7 decades as a result of Nehru's approach of minimal governmental intervention in this region. But this has changed over the last decade. Indifference has given way to active engagement. Northeast India is brimming with renewed hope. Drawing upon his experiences as a policymaker and administrator in Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh, Ashish Kundra chronicles the journey of the people of the Northeast as they emerge from the long shadow of strife. The book strikes a personal chord through conversations that capture the pulse of a new Northeast. Now, this, of course, as you can figure out by now, is a non-fiction book. It has got some nice blurbs from, say, people like Shashi Tharoor, Nirupama Rao, and we also have Ramchandra Guha, who's blurbed, as well as Basharat Peer. So yeah, this one I think is going to be a book that I'm going to read slowly because, like I said, it's not fiction. It's mostly facts, non-fiction. It's gonna have some historical undertones as well, which I'll read and process. So yeah. Moving on, we have another book that actually just arrived today. So I'm gonna open this and let you all know. So the book is We Measure the Earth with Our Bodies by Sering Yangzom Lama. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I'll check out the pronunciation. This is a review copy that was sent to me by Bloomsbury, India, and it has been shortlisted for the 2022 Scotiabank Giller Prize. So here's a brief synopsis that I'll read out to you from behind the book. In the wake of China's invasion of Tibet throughout the 1950s, Lamu and her younger sister Tenki arrive at a refugee camp in Nepal. They survived the dangerous journey across the Himalayas, but their parents did not. Haunted by the loss of her homeland and her mother, as Lamu tries to rebuild a life amid a shattered community, hope arrives in the form of a young man named Samfel and his uncle, who brings with him the ancient statue of the nameless saint. This statue is a relic known to vanish and reappear in times of need. Decades later, the 2 sisters are separated and Tenki is living with Lamu's daughter, Dolma, in Toronto. While Tenki works as a cleaner and struggles with traumatic memories, Dolma vies for a place as a scholar of Tibetan studies. When Dolma comes across the nameless saint in a collector's vault, she must decide what she is willing to do for her community, even if it means risking her dreams. A powerful meditation on displacement, we measure the earth with our bodies, explores the lengths we go to remain connected to our families and ancestral lands. Told through the lives of 4 people over 50 years, this novel provides an intimate, nuanced, and moving portrait of the little lone land world of Tibetan exiles. Now, like I said, like the synopsis said, this is a sort of multi-generational drama that I really want to read and explore, because I personally have not read anything set within the Tibetan or Tibetan exiles space, and especially one that deals with displacement, because displacement is a very important theme, issue, true historical anthropological situation that is prevalent even today, as we know. So this book is one that I really want to read, and of course, even though it is fiction, it has of course got some very important historical non-fictional elements in terms of the history, the people, etc. So that is one that I think I should read. So yeah, thanks to Bloomsbury India. Alright, moving on, the next 2 books that I'm going to share with you are actually books that I borrowed from my friends. So I'm very, very happy that they were willing to share books with me. The first one here is Rainer Maria Rilke's Letters to a Young Poet. Now, I borrowed this from my friend Bhavya, and whom you might also know as Fables from the Wonderland on Instagram. So this is a book that I got from her. It is a Penguin Classics edition, of course, and this one is annotated by her. So I'm excited to see, firstly I'm excited to read it because I've heard so much about this collection, and secondly I really am excited for this one, especially more so because this book, since it has been annotated by a friend, I get to see the points, see the places that really affected her and all of that. Alright, so here's a brief synopsis. At the start of the 20th century, Rilke wrote a series of letters to a young officer cadet advising him on writing, love, sex, suffering, and the nature of advice itself. These profound and lyrical letters have since become hugely influential for writers and artists of all kinds. This book also contains a letter from a young worker, a striking polemic against Christianity written in a letter form near the end of Rilke's life. In Lewis Hyde's introduction, he explores the context in which these letters were written and how the author embraced his isolation as a creative force. Charlie Lutz afterward discusses the similarities and contrasts of the 2 works and Rilke's religious and sexual wordplay. This edition also contains a chronology, notes, and suggested further reading. So yeah, really excited to read this one. And the last book that I'm going to share with you all is a book that I've already read, but I wanted to read it again. I want to read the series again actually, and it is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. It's a twisted series. Twisted Love, Twisted Hate, Twisted Games, and there was another one I've forgotten. But this is book 1 in the whole Twisted series. It follows 2 people, of course. We have Alex Volkov and Eva Chen, and I read it I think last year and I really loved it. This book belongs to my friend Suman, colleague turned friend Suman, and I'm really grateful that she let me borrow this book. So I'm going to read this again, and maybe because I have been on a romance kick recently, I'll read this and then the whole series one by one. So let me share a brief synopsis with you all. Alex Volkov is a devil, blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. But when he is forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something in his chest, a crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knew it. Eva Chen is a free spirit trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. Her brother's best friend, her neighbor, her savior, and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both and everything they hold dear. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to read it, and I think yeah, that's it. Those are all the 5 books that I'm excited to read, and hopefully I'll get to them soon. Let me know if you want to see any more. Perhaps I might make a reading blog on the Twisted series as well, but yeah, let's see. Thank you all so much for coming along with me on this video, and as you can see, I kept this one pretty much short, hopefully. I don't know how much I rambled in the middle, but anyway, I'm wrapping this up now. Thank you once again for watching this video. If you have any of these books on your list as well, don't forget to ping me. Perhaps we could do a buddy read. That's always an ideal situation. Thank you once again. Have a nice day, and don't forget to click on the thumbs up icon if you haven't already, and subscribe as well. I'll see you in another video. Until then, bye.